Good Wednesday!
It's Wednesday.
I decided I'm going to start saying the day.
Good Wednesday. Let's just say happy then.
Because
good sound like good.
But good is like it's like the thing.
Okay.
Good. Would it be the same? Would espresso be the same if we didn't say good something?
What about happy?
Good. Happy Wednesday.
What do you guys like better? Drop it in the comments. Good or happy? Good afternoon or happy whatever day it is?
Good whatever day it is.
Good whatever day it is. A hybrid. I wonder what you guys like better.
Maybe we can just
because this show is for you guys.
Maybe we can just make a song.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So we're gonna start adding on our show due to your guys' requests more topics with regards to movements, especially common ones. So today's topic is purely out of a lot of you guys asking that question and just wanting more clarity on it. So we figured, well, obviously, if a few of you guys are wondering, then we might as well just answer the question for everybody, also so that everybody is on the same page. Good, happy day. Change it up, be wild.
Happy ENS.
That's a good one.
We got some brainstorming too.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about push-up progressions. Okay.
And who wants to be able to do a push-up from your feet and your hands?
I feel like doing a push-up from the feet has probably been one of the most common fitness goals.
I want to be able to do a push-up.
That and a kick up to a wall.
That's like the people who are doing the burn zone.
Yeah, that's
like, shit, that one's hard.
Yeah, because it's a little bit more mental. Yeah. So we'd love to know where you guys are at with the push-up, but today we're going to be going through all progressions, whether this is like your very first day doing a push-up, having never done a push-up before, you have no arm strength to, maybe you've been doing a push-up for a couple of months, but you're just not fully there yet, or perhaps you've been doing it for quite some time and you just want to know, we want to know how to go beast mode on it. So know that when it comes to anything like fitness related with what we do, and we talk to you guys about it on the Burn Zone, and you see it on the Underground Training Club page too, is that we always program for the more advanced and scale for the rest. So, like scaling techniques and progressions are then name of the game, because this is how we're able to get 100 people into a room doing the same workout and all executing it at their own single level and having a badass workout. Because I don't care what workout you're doing, but if you can't follow through with it, then what's the point of you doing it anyway?
Fun, safe, and effective. If it's not fun, you're not going to come back. If it's not safe, you're going to get hurt and not come back. If it's not effective, you're going to get defeated because you're not seeing results and you're not going to come back. Fun, safe, and effective. That's what we're going for.
Yeah. All right. So shall we get to it?
Yep.
All right.
I'm ready.
By the way, for anybody who's saying the push-ups are hurting your wrists, your elbows, if it's a joint thing, for one, and if you're working on push-ups, highly recommend that you get your hands on 2 supplements, the Joint 4 and the Omega-3s from X Endurance. Okay, you need that in your life. You really, really do. It's like fuel for your joints. It's going to make you feel so much better. Erin and I take it religiously on a daily basis. And yeah. You should.
I actually used to have crazy wrist problems.
You did.
Especially my left one. Mm-hmm. Like anything. Front squats with the barbell there, push-ups, burpees, handstand, anything. Forget handstand walking. Like all of that stuff was really painful for me, and I had to do everything on my fists for a really long time. And I honestly don't know what the difference is besides that supplement. So there's that. And then, occasionally I'll also use like a wrist wrap if I'm really feeling it. But if you're using that all the time, that's more of a crutch than a solution. So,
okay. So let's get to it.
okay.
So the push-up, so the push-up is a movement, we call it, so you can push horizontally or you can push vertically. Okay, the push-up is what's considered to be a horizontal push. Okay, the push-up works on, it is a compound movement. So basically what a compound movement means is that more than one muscle is being engaged.
More than one joint.
And more than one joint is needed in order to perform the movement. So
can I give an example?
Yeah.
Isolated movement would be a bicep curl. One joint, the elbow. One joint, the elbow. Push up, shoulder, elbow, wrist. 3 joints are moving.
And with that, a few different muscle groups are working. So obviously the prime mover is considered to be the muscle that is initiating the movement is more responsible. But in compound movements, because more than one joint is involved, because joints connect bones and muscles move bones, more than muscle group is being involved. So in this case, we are talking about our chest muscles, more specifically what we consider to be the pec major, also front deltoid for sure, also the tricep that's engaged in the push, and definitely your core. Your core will be even more engaged the more advanced the movement gets. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done, those of you guys especially who are at a level where you're doing push-ups from your feet, it's like if you're maxing out, do you ever notice that like your entire body starts to shake? That's because it takes your core has been engaged the whole time, and your core is just like completely fired up, and that's why you're shaking. Okay. Also, anything that involves a plank position will also engage your quads. That's why anybody who ever holds a plank for a minute are like, what the heck am I feeling it in my quads? But a push-up position from your feet involves you doing push-ups from a plank position. And then also your glutes to some degree. Okay, now don't think that push-ups will give you strong glutes, because that's not the prime mover. However, just keep the main thing. More than one muscle group is being engaged. So,
and in a compound movement, it's often like a full body, like everything's engaged. Like Sarit's like this plus this, your chest and your shoulders and your triceps and your core and your glutes and your quads, and everything is engaged when you're doing it right. Even your back muscles, because they're what we would call the antagonists. They're the ones that are resisting downward, or they're the ones that are assisting it, not assisting, sorry, what's the word?
Supporting?
Yeah, they're stabilizing. They're like helping stabilize the movement.
The antagonists will
be
the supporters.
So bring the mic if we're gonna come. Are you gonna stay where you're at?
No.
Okay.
By the way, we had a discussion before we started today's episode. I told Erin, I'm like, we need to do this at the gym. She's like, we should do this here. I feel weird doing anything exercise in the office. I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to get your input on that.
And before you give your input on that, remember how the Facebook went in the gym a couple days ago.
But that's just we also had Instagram running, and I feel like it's Instagram that
it's my computer. It's my computer.
So why do we need your computer? Why can't we just do it live from our phone?
Okay, how about we have this conversation not here? Great, moving on.
Okay. All right. So push-ups. Let's begin.
I'm gonna buy a new computer and put it in the garage. How about that?
Rule number 3.
Okay, push-ups.
can we begin from here, from a wall? Like the most beginner.
We absolutely can. Can you see?
So notice it almost looks like Erin is holding a plank position while standing in front of the door. So when we talk about anything full range of motion with the push-up, you literally want your chest to get as close to the object as possible. And also you always want to engage your movement with your breath. So in any part of the movement where you exert pressure.
Let's just talk about the push-up breathing.
Okay.
To make it easy.
So in the part of the movement where you exert pressure, that is where you want to exhale. So normally what I always say is exhale, explode. So like during the portion of the movement where the explosion happens, you want to exhale. So basically, as you're leaning into the wall, you want to take an inhale. So you filled up your core with air. That pressure will give you more strength. So inhale as you go down and exhale, explode. Something that's super important to talk about that we see happen way too often in the female communities. For some reason, I don't know what is it about chicks, but dude, why do your elbows always come out? Like, are you
guys
trying?
Do that too.
Really? I don't see it with guys. Guys just don't do a full
Maybe
push-up.
you just don't watch guys do push-ups.
Could be possible too. But this is wrong. This is wrong. Pretend as if your elbows are like a grasshopper. So when you're at the bottom, you want to look as if you were a grasshopper. So notice how Erin's elbows, I feel like we'll need to move the camera. Notice how Erin's elbows are at a 45-degree angle in relation to her body instead of a 90-degree angle.
This one.
So 45 versus 90. When you do a 90-degree angle push-up, you're using the small muscles of your body. You're making it so much more difficult on yourself and you're not packing the joints right.
You're also internally rotating your shoulder. And if anybody has shoulder pain up here, that's a contributor. You're pulling all of this forward when it needs to come back. And if you notice naturally when it comes back, so does my elbow. My shoulder is in here, I'm in. When I pull my elbows down, my shoulder comes back, and then I've got more space for all my tendons, ligaments, nerves, everything that's in here. More pain, less pain.
Yeah. I want to give a huge shout out. I see that Andrea Ramos is in the house. I see you, girl. I see you. Okay, so that's with regards to the first progression. So if you haven't worked out in years or you consider yourself really out of shape, really overweight, or just really, really new to this journey and you don't have much upper body strength, you'll want to start with that progression. Okay, as you get more advanced, you want to get closer and closer to the floor. So the next progression, workouts office style, sure, that works.
You could do a workout in your office. This would ideally be a longer table though. So you could put your hands. Where do my hands go, Coach?
So when you have a flat surface, be it a table, the ground, or anything, oh my gosh. You guys, when this video is gonna go viral on YouTube, just wait. This is gonna be in 5 years when there's millions of views. Everybody's gonna say, "Oh my gosh, remember when these bitches were doing it on a fucking board on top of a desk?"
It's really safe. Don't try this at home.
But you want to make sure, and Kim Howard, we were talking about it this morning. You want to make sure that your hands are literally underneath your shoulders. Okay, they're not wide because that makes it so much more difficult. Literally have them right underneath your shoulders as if you're pushing on the wall. So breathing is the same, elbow structure is the same, 45-degree angle. Inhale as you bring your chest all the way down and exhale as you come up. So one question that we got very often with the push-ups is like, how do I know that I'm ready for the next progression? And normally I would say this, that if you can do 20 in a row, before feeling very challenged, just move on to the next progression. So if you're like, I haven't worked out in 3 years, where do I start? Start with the first progression. Can you do 20 unbroken? If so, then go down to a desk. If the desk or the box or whatever,
or a chair,
is too easy when you do 20 unbroken, then you want to go to the floor with your knees on the ground.
This is how you know. There's no excuses. You do what you could do. What do you gotta do? You know what I mean?
There is a boogie toy too.
Yeah, a boogie toy. Here, come down here.
So, you guys already learned the basics. The same thing applies here. Breathing is the same. Elbow angle is the same. Hands are underneath the shoulders. That's the same. You take an inhale as you bring your chest all the way down to the ground. And exhale, explode. Let's do it again. Inhale, bring your chest all the way down to the ground. Exhale, explode. Inhale, bring your chest all the way down to the ground. Exhale, explode. Something that's really important, and that will apply to your planks too. A lot of times with planks, I see what I call the droopy butts.
Yeah.
No droopy butts are allowed in this house, okay?
I'll demonstrate the
Nor do we want the stripper girl butt, where it's like...
I'll show them. Where's the droopy butt? Here's the... This is the stomach push-up.
Stacy, I really hope you're catching this.
Because what happened, like my whole body is straight. There's nothing different. When I was against the wall, I wasn't doing this, right? Everything is straight from my knee to my shoulder. Straight, besides my butt. Because I'm not trying to make that straight. You know what I mean? Inhale. Right? So my stomach actually, like you're aiming to hit your chest to the floor. So I'm actually trying to keep most of me like off the floor, but what we don't want then is this one. That's almost harder.
Yeah, you want what we call open hips. Don't close your hips.
Open. Okay, what's the next progression? Once I can do 20 of these in a row without
once you can do 20 of these unbroken, then you get up on your feet and you bring the ground up to you. So we'll need like 2 pillows.
Why don't you sit like here? Why don't you crisscross applesauce?
Oh my gosh. But you need this pillow now.
For what?
Because you're going on your feet to a raised object.
I was already on my feet to a raised object. What do you mean?
No. Like we're raising the ground. Stacy, can you make a poll on the email?
I don't know what to find.
Hold on.
I'm looking for things. You gonna give me the box? Because this is too squishy.
No.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Gosh.
What is that? What is that little? What is that for? How am I supposed to push up on that? Oh, I'm not going full depth.
No.
I'm not doing full range.
No, not yet. You're doing it to the towels.
So my chest is going to the towel.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So then, progression number 4. This is hilarious. I hope that you guys are like dying in laughter right
I need to. There we go. There. Why wasn't it staying? Stay. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay,
I
so
hope this is entertaining for you guys. This is like as real as it gets. You're welcome. Teach me.
there's a story behind everything.
Teach me.
Okay, so then the next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to get into a real plank position.
A real plank.
Okay, real plank position.
Where is this position? Underneath my leg.
So the towels are gonna be literally underneath what would be Erin's boobs.
What would be? In case you don't have any, what would be your boobs?
Like in relation to your boobs.
What most people would call them. Okay.
So then you inhale as you go down, elbows at a 45-degree angle, exhale and explode.
So this is more just like partial range. So now we're just getting used to being on the hands and feet, going down. This can be as high as you need it, right? Adjust for where you are. If you can't push back up, you need a little bit more. And once you can do 20 there, take some off, go again. Okay, once you can do 20 there, go again. Is there another progression that you have? Okay, so one thing that also is really helpful is negatives. So what I would say is, if you're not yet at your set of 20 in the progression that you're in, if you can't do 20 in a row, then you need to do some negatives at the next progression toward the push-up. So, for example, if I'm doing my push-up from the desk, or let's say from this chair, can they still see me? Kind of. If I'm doing my push-up from this chair, right? If this is where I'm working at, but I can't yet do 20, then I'm going to keep working on getting my 20 there because I can do them, but I'm going to take the next progression and I'm going to do some negatives. So that if the next progression is down here, then this is what this looks like. Negative is you controlling yourself down as slow as possible and only doing the downward part. So I'm going to get into my position. I'm going to lower myself down as slow as I can. And then I'm going to start at the top. Lower myself down as slow as I can. Start at the top. And I would say do 8 to 10 reps there. Do your thing, like however many sets you need to get to 20. Do there, then do your negatives at the next progression down. That way your muscles get used to moving in that range of motion that's lower, but you're not having to worry about trying to push back up yet. Would you add anything? How many reps would you say? Like 10? 8 to 10?
For the
Couple
towels?
sets?
For the towels?
Like whatever the next progression down is.
Yeah, 10 at least.
2 sets? Whatever you can be consistent with, really.
Yeah.
Just if you're not consistent, it's not going to work out anyways. So just focus on the consistency in there. Let's see if they have questions.
Yeah, and then I have something else to add because some of you guys who've been working with me and your push-ups have progressed, one of the more common questions that I get is, I've been working on my push-ups for 1 month and like nothing changed yet. The harder a movement gets, the more work you're gonna have to do in order to make a small change with regards to your capability. Like when it comes to training, like for example, I called the first year the golden era. In the golden era, that's when you learn all the things, and that's when like you do a PR basically like almost every time you work out.
Kim said guilty.
Yes, Kim, not gonna lie, I was thinking about you when I was saying it. But because Kim asked me like 20 questions about the push-ups, but that's great. That's because she's coachable. She asks a lot of questions. But when you have been training for a long period of time, because your body always wants to stay in homeostasis, breaking past the next point takes so much work. Like nowadays, when Erin and I have like a PR, it's just like it doesn't happen very often. But at the beginning, like progressions, for as long as you're consistent, are going to happen faster. And as you get more advanced, the more work you're gonna have to do in order to make like one small like forward deviation. And that applies for your weight loss too. How many of you guys who at the beginning of your journey you're like I was losing like 20 pounds in 1 month, and then it was like down to 15, then down to 10, then it's kind of like stable for a while. Dude, that's just how it goes. There's nothing wrong with that. Your body will always strive to get to a point where change won't be as dramatic because your body doesn't like change. But as long as you're being consistent and you're showing up as you do, you're going to keep on getting stronger. And, you know, speaking about Kim, like today she sent me a video and she can now do 13 push-ups from her feet unbroken, which, you know, like, where were you like 6 months ago? And then where were you like a month ago? So like, this is how it happens. This is exactly how the sustainable journey works. Just keep going at it. Keep on, you know, like, focusing on consistency, sustainability. Don't try to take any shortcuts. The biggest shortcut that you can take is the consistent one.
Biggest shortcut you can take. Yep. Yeah. They're loving this episode. Apparently, best episode ever. Cross applesauce. Looks like how my push-ups go. What other gear do we need for push-ups? You really shouldn't have to try that hard. Olivia, this is me setting up for any workout. Highlight of my day. You guys, I'm so glad that you're finding this fun. Can we do these every Wednesday, please? Handstands next week.
Dude, you guys, so we ask you all the time, like if this added value to you, just share this episode for the sake of how hilarious this episode is and also how educational it is at the same time. Please just share this episode, because if as a community we can make this go viral, this will be like one of the most like hilarious things ever. So can I get an eye if you're committed to sharing this episode with someone, because this is really like educational and also like entertaining at the same time.
I'm just reading through your guys' comments. Megan, you need to like zip tie yourself to the inside of the wagon.
Yes, you do.
How do you modify if you have trouble with your wrists? Great question. Mm-hmm. At any point, if you can do it on your fists, or if you're doing it from your knees on the ground, then if you have like dumbbells or something that you can actually hold onto the handle, but your wrist is just in a straighter position and not flexed, then both of those ways work really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Crystal answered that. Great answer, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
So what if you're past all those levels and can do normal push-ups without modifications? What would be the next step to advance? Do more of it. Be more consistent.
Hold on. I have an example. I must use the...
Are you going to apply
the love chair? Here is a next progression. Zip. Oh, Whoa, 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 whoa. Camera's having a seizure. This is the next one. Feet elevated. So you can do different degrees of elevation, like you can start lower and you can work your way up, but you can do a push-up that way. You can also do plyo push-ups where you're like actually pushing like up off the floor. You can have like,
You can do weighted push-ups.
you can do weighted push-ups. If you have like two things here, oh, you can't see that. If you have like something elevated off the floor that's like the same height, like weight plates, like 25-pound weight plates work really well, or even 10s just to start. And you can do like a more narrow push-up, and you can like jump onto like a plyo push-up. Those are all different variations. You can get crazy with push-ups, really. Anybody count how many push-ups I did? I'm counting that in my workout today.
Okay, back to questions. I think it keeps going down, but somebody asked, what's a PR? PR stands for personal record.
I thought it would take me a year to do 5 push-ups. It was less than 6 months.
Nice.
If you're consistent, you'll be surprised at actually like how quickly you can get to doing push-ups.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of you guys said that you're going to share. Oh, wait, more than that. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Dude, you guys, we'd be so grateful. And also, just one more thing, when you share it, like, just say something about it, because when somebody just shares a post, like, nobody ever really looks at it. Let's be honest. Like, we're all people. So, I don't know. Say whatever you want to say, like, these girls crack me up, or I can't believe she did push-ups on towels, or just something. But we're very, very grateful, and looking forward to those shares so that more people can see this episode.
Is it weird that elevated are easier for me than feet on the floor? That's not usual. That's not common, because what happens, the more inverted you get, the more smaller muscles you're using, because it becomes more of a shoulder activity than a chest.
Check minor too.
Yeah, the prime mover changes to a smaller muscle group. So that's not usually what happens, but I wouldn't say it's like a bad thing. I would say, maybe there's a missing connection with the actual movement and the muscle memory itself between your like brain and muscle, like neuromuscular connection.
Beth, don't overthink it. It's fine. But I can assume that, Beth, probably your dips are like pretty strong too, if that's the case. Sweet.
How many times per week should I work on?
What are you doing right now? It all depends. It all depends on your goals. Like, it's such an open-ended question. If you're like, I want to get better in push-ups and you're not currently doing any push-ups whatsoever, just commit to something that's reasonable. Like 2 times a week, I will do 3 sets of 10. If you're doing any of our training programs, like that alone will help you. Be it the Rise Above, the Burn Zones, the Underground Training Club, like there's push-ups involved in all of that. But if you have a specific goal, then, you know, like start with 2 times per week. If you're like, Sarit, I'm doing more than 2 times per week, okay, do 3 times per week. If you're like, no, but I'm really serious about this goal, then do 30 every morning when you wake up. But commit to it, because it's really easy to talk about wanting something, but when it comes to doing like something like 30 push-ups every single morning as soon as you wake up 100 days in a row, like, dude, that shit gets annoying.
That's 300 push-ups. That's
3,000
push-ups.
Yeah.
I missed a 0.
Yeah. So just, you know, like think about your goals and where you're at right now. That's all I will have to say. You guys, I have a question for you. If we were to start providing personal training sessions, would that be beneficial for you? Would you guys be interested in that? Would you guys like that? So that a coach, a life coach, can support you with either like the Burn Zone program that you're on, or whatever program that you're on, or whatever specific goal you have. Yes, 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 yes. Nice. Nice. Love it. All right. Full disclosure. We are starting to offer that. So if you're really interested and you've answered yes, just go ahead and email admin@erinandsarit.com. And we'll talk about your goals and we'll get you set up with a coach, and so that you can start doing some personal training sessions that will specifically help to tackle your fitness goals on top of whatever it is that you're already doing. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you have anything else to add?
No. That's cool. Sweet.
All right, you guys, that being said, that does it for today. If you're doing the TKC, happy day 3. If you're new to this community, welcome, welcome, welcome. Great things are happening and great things are here. We hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. All of you guys who've made a commitment with the I'm going to hold you accountable to it. I got like at least 18 and I see that there's no shares yet. So go ahead and make sure that you share this episode so that more people can see like how hilarious this shit is. That was like almost like halfway hilarious, halfway embarrassing, but either way, we're cool with it. We are grateful for you guys. We hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll catch you again tomorrow at noon Eastern. Bye.
See you guys.